Hello there, friends and fans. This is Grandmaster Arcturus for the Kingdom Hearts Let's Play on behalf of Kingdom Hearts Wiki. Thanks for joining me this week, and with me this week is Nessie from the KH Wiki.
What's up?
This week we actually finish Deep Jungle. We run around finishing everything, and toward the end I will warn you, Nessie, that there is a little bit of odd editing because I got beaten pretty badly by the world boss.
Lovely. And we're not going to get to see that.
No, because I edit out all my failures. Because it's just, honestly, I would leave them in, but it just seems it would just make the episode longer, and I don't think people really care that much to see how I fail.
Unless we learn an important lesson from it.
Well, I did. I think. I'm not sure. I think
well,
I think
you can tell us about it when we get there.
I think the lesson that I learned was that I needed to be a higher level.
That would do it.
The lesson is level your characters.
Levels are important. No matter what they told you in school, levels are important.
Yeah, if you're playing an RPG, it's important to level up your characters. Experience is good for you.
This is a very interesting stage of the world where there are literally no enemies except for the leopard.
Sabor.
Yeah.
Kerchak, please listen to me.
Or may not be female.
I know the nesting grounds are
Well,
secret,
actually, I've been told that they changed his gender between the movie and the game.
Because, well, they need us.
Apparently, he was male in the movie. Sabor was male in the movie and is female here.
Oh, did you get that?
Not sure how you know that, but
it's probably in the journal or something.
Or the Ultimania.
Kerchak.
Yeah, the journal has it as male for Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay. Then that would mean it was female in the movie. Sabor was female in the movie. I just had it backwards.
Oh, whatever works for him.
Alright, now let's go see what Kerchak was looking at up at the treehouse. Apparently he was looking at something.
I just thought of something weird. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't remember there being ladders in Kingdom Hearts 2. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I mean,
I know there were ladders in Kingdom Hearts 1. I know there were ladders in Chain of Memories.
well,
I don't know.
you mean ladders specifically for platforming purposes?
Yes, for climbing. Ladders
Wait,
for
Kerchak,
climbing from
please.
one level to another.
Because, I don't know, I mean, it kind of seems like it would be weird to leave out if they did, but I don't know, because it's been forever since I've played Kingdom Hearts 2. I mean, I won't be... The first time I'll have played it in about 10 years will be this Tuesday.
A snake slid
From the time we've recorded this.
Saved that
Congratulations.
poor gorilla's life.
Yeah, so it'll be
But I was just thinking, I was watching Sora going up and down, and I was thinking, I don't remember this animation or a similar animation happening in Kingdom Hearts 2.
yeah.
And if I think about it, that might also be true for the games that came after that.
Huh. I mean, it's just it's kind of a funny thing to think about because you would think that'd be something they would include for a game for an action RPG of this caliber. I mean,
I guess they decided to go for the handicap-friendly route and only put in ramps.
Indeed.
And, extra steps, I guess. Extra levels.
Because I do remember lots of stairs, especially in Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, there are plenty of stairs, and there are lots of low ledges in different places. But I don't think they have ladders in Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Days. Okay, never mind. In Recoded, they did have ladders. Phew.
Well, right there, you may have noticed that pink aura that surrounded me. That you've seen surround me at the end of my combos.
As I told you, I was
That's happened a couple
aiming
times.
at the
That's actually
gorillas.
Ripple
You are
Drive.
not to go near the gorillas again.
That was a
Oh,
combo
because of
finisher that
one
was added
mishap.
to Final
Come
Mix,
now.
and its damage is based on your max MP.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it becomes pretty OP, just like Gravity.
It's like Explosion in Kingdom Hearts 2. That's also a magic based finisher.
Yeah, it's very
What am I
nice
doing
because
with these imbeciles?
the higher your max MP is, the more
gorillas.
damage
I
Ripple
hunt down
Drive
every
will
last
do,
one of them.
which
I'll
is a
track
very
them
good reason
down
to go with a
somehow.
staff route whenever you
I'll
build your
stake my
Sora,
life on it.
because you'll be doing like crazy damage with Ripple Drive as a finisher. And it fires off it enough that you get you can get quite a bit of damage off of it. Especially when you're fighting a boss.
And of course, you get it earliest when you do
Heartless.
the
Staff
rod.
route. Yeah.
And finally, we have enemies. That was perfect camera positioning there.
Now of course I'm running low on HP. So I have to stay back and just spam magic.
Well, there are just enough orbs to get you out of the red.
Indeed. Still going into the tent to heal though. Magical save points. So nice. It's no wonder that they function exactly like they did in Final Fantasy X, given that this game came out afterwards. I mean, isn't it? No, I don't know. Do save points function like that in Final Fantasy games after Final Fantasy X?
I don't know. Because the only one that I have, like, any good amount of knowledge on is 13. And there weren't save points, I think. Wait, that can't be right.
No,
But
there were.
Right.
I think they did there too. If I'm not and in fact, yes, they did. Yeah, it's become a staple of the series since Final Fantasy X that save points refill your HP.
They didn't do it before?
Not that I'm aware of. No, I know in Final Fantasy VII they didn't, and in Final Fantasy VIII they did not either. Whether they did in Final Fantasy IX or not, I'm not sure because I've never actually played that one.
I think I've also noticed that the Tales series also more recently has started doing that with their save points. I don't think they used to do that.
It's becoming just a normally accepted practice for RPGs at this point.
It's very helpful.
Indeed. I mean, every Kingdom Hearts game has done that. I mean, it started here and they never dropped it.
Right. The only exception is Days, which didn't have save points.
That's right. It didn't, did it?
No, the RTC portals looked like save points, but they were not. You could only save from the gray room in between missions.
Which was kind of weird, to be quite honest. But then again, the missions were short enough.
Yeah, or they were supposed to be. They were meant to be.
It's just that they were. It's just that there were a whole bunch of them, and I don't think that. From what I've been told, that game was never meant to be played single player. Because it seems like most of the bosses in that game are like really huge damage sponges.
Well, there's a yes and no on that, because if you played multiplayer, the HP, the enemy HP levels did go up. Like, I think maybe 3 times?
Yeah, but it's still not enough to. It's still not enough to really overwhelm more than one. If you have more, if you're doing multiplayer, you're gonna have enough people that it's gonna that the increase in HP isn't gonna make that much of a difference. I don't think, especially if you've got a higher level person playing with a lower level person.
Yeah. Well, they did have a kind of cap on that. Not necessarily on levels, since you could equip whatever number of levels you wanted, but you could only access certain levels after you've cleared a certain amount of the story.
Yeah, that is true.
Of course, you could play level 1 anytime you wanted, if you were into that.
Yeah. All right, now here's our last Power Wild encounter, or mandatory Power Wild encounter, I should say. And then we'll be able to progress with the story. Finally got a boost in strength. Oh wait, no, I forgot. There's one more. It's at the treehouse. That's right. There's one more mandatory one. It's at the treehouse.
Pathways to the different areas are weird.
Indeed, they are.
Through the window.
Deep freeze. See ya. Deep freeze.
Sit still, why don't you?
Come on.
Hold still
Ow.
so I can hit you with my shotgun.
Come on. See ya.
There we go. That was a good shot.
Well, they lined up just perfectly.
Why do these gorillas have gummies?
That's a good question. I don't. Maybe they don't know what it is, and they're just like, you take.
I think there are probably more gummies, like, strewn about the world in this world than any others. Like, you find them in chests, but I don't think you'll find them by just exploring and going through the story.
No, not normally. No. Seems kind of odd that they did it like that, but I guess it's some kind of reward.
Sure.
Well, let's go back to the tent and see how everything's going now that we've saved all the gorillas from the Power Wilds.
I bet it's going well.
Yeah, I'm sure. God dang it, Power Wilds. They just keep following me.
Yeah.
And actually,
At least they're not bouncy wilds. Those are.
I would like to mention that in one of the areas we were just in the treetop area. For right now, the Power Wilds will actually spawn infinitely.
See ya.
Lovely.
That is, as long as the black flowers that you saw on the ground are not active. Basically, you make them active by casting any type of magic on them. If all the flowers are made active, then then it stops the Heartless from spawning.
Also, they change colors,
Yep.
which is cool.
Yeah, I'm very glad that I took off Tarzan's action abilities and just have him using his MP for only his defensive abilities.
Is he still using his version of Arrow?
Yeah, he's used it a couple of times.
Deep freeze. Deep freeze.
Then his version of Cure, called Healing Herb.
You know, it's nice that you don't have to worry about anyone else living on the banana peels aside from Sora.
Yeah, but there, I've actually read y'all's wiki, and it's apparently it's a good idea to slip on the banana peels.
I mean, yes, you can then collect the large amount of money that got dropped.
Well, no, that's your money that spills. But what I've read on the wiki is that apparently it increases the chance of a bouncy wild dropping a power shard. Did I just tell you something you didn't know?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't memorize all the articles on the wiki.
But you worked there.
I do,
Fire.
and I'm so ashamed. I'm very ashamed.
Granted, I kind of do in an unofficial capacity with this LP.
And we definitely appreciate it. Except for when you show me up, which is not cool, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Still, it's actually, I actually read them and I was like, well, okay, so there's some kind of benefit from that hazard. That's pretty interesting.
Here.
Though I do believe it says that it doesn't increase it that much, so it's not really, still not really worth it to do it, because unless you've got the treasure gathering ability equipped, it's you may lose more money than it's worth.
I wonder if the effects stack if you do it once.
I don't know. I've never actually tested the theory.
And with that, we finally have bested Sabor for the last time.
Indeed, and we get one of his teeth. You just rip that right out of there.
Works for me. Guy's a jerk.
Now here's an unfortunate thing. Turk isn't voiced by Rosie O'Donnell here.
I mean, Turk only gets one line, and that's yelling.
Yeah, but it's just kind of unfortunate that they didn't give Turk more lines and have Rosie O'Donnell come in.
That would have been cool.
That would have.
Every time they have an original voice actor, it makes me happy.
I think that Agrabah is the one with the most original voice actors coming that came back for the game.
That makes sense.
At least
That's
in Kingdom Hearts 1. Because I think Pirates hasn't beaten in Kingdom Hearts 2 because the only one that didn't come back for the game for Pirates is Johnny Depp. They have a sound alike for Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow, but I think Joffrey Rush is actually the one who voices Captain Barbossa in the second game.
That's probably right, but we did not get Orlando Bloom for
Will?
Yeah.
Well, it may be tied. It may still be tied between Agrabah and Pirates. Though I do miss that Kingdom Hearts does not have the two goofball pirates that are part of Barbossa's crew.
Yeah, a missed opportunity there. But then again,
because they're so stupid. I mean, the guy loses his eye half the time, and it's just like, dude, you're a zombie.
I mean, they're great side characters, but since they always have to compress the story, they don't have room for the B the B plot.
Yeah.
And instead we end up with the 3 undead pirates that get repeated over and over again.
Which, unfortunately, even I have come to learn, is still the pirates are still censored in the 2.5 edition.
Deep freeze. Deep See ya.
Whatever.
I'm guessing that I just told you something that will need to now be updated on the wiki.
See ya.
I mean, I haven't seen anything from the English for 2.5 yet.
Are y'all gonna do a separate article for 2.5?
I mean, it'll be a short one. It'll basically be listing all the differences and stuff. But considering that most of the differences were from the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, they'll basically be covered on that article.
Okay.
Unless there was anything, special.
Most of it is just that we're finally getting an English translated Final Mix.
Which is nice. Complete with it voice acting.
Yes, and with voice acting in certain scenes that weren't voice acted originally.
Yeah.
Which was a surprise to me. I was like, wow, they actually put some work into that. That's impressive.
I'm definitely happy about that.
Time to go rescue Turk and Jane, of course.
Hooray! And we gotta go back to the treetop for
Climbing trees. That's what it
Climbing
is.
trees.
That's the name of it. Climbing trees.
Tarzan.
Now this is kind of weird. This scene.
Your objective is not to fight the Power Wilds, despite the fact that I'm doing that right now. Your objective is to fight the giant fruit hanging from the tree.
Which somehow trapped Jane and Turk. Somehow.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Come on.
Does the little flower trick still work during
I
this?
don't think it does, because I think that big black fruit does the same thing.
I think I remember trying it once, and like the flowers open, but then they close again, or something.
Yeah, I think you can open them, but they immediately close back up.
Yeah. Jump.
Well, you remember how I told you last episode that there would be some editing toward the end of this one?
We're coming up on that.
Yep.
Exciting.
I'm not sure if I did it really well, but I tried my best to cover up.
I will let you know. I will judge. Oh, these guys.
Yeah, we're not gonna mess with them right now. Mostly because I don't have one of the magics.
Yeah, this is
available.
where they start doing the pose for cure.
Yep. Which is where they lay down.
Yeah.
They just lay down on the ground, and you're like, and that's basically them saying, "Okay, I'm knocked out. Cure me."
Most of their little charades make sense.
Indeed, like the fanning is for, I believe, Blizzard.
Yeah.
And then,
The shivering is for fire.
indeed, and then there's floating, which is gravity, because it's obviously showing that they want to be pulled back down to the ground.
Right.
Then the spinning really fast, I don't understand how that relates
Spinning
to arrow.
Yeah, spinning really fast is arrow somehow.
Yeah,
And
that's the only
the-
one that I think does not make sense.
The stop, they're actually not moving.
Stopped. Yeah, they stopped. They just stop in a kind of weird pose with one arm in the air, one foot in the air.
Yeah. And dramatic moves.
And
Thunder.
Thunder is where. Okay, that's another one that I think is based on a Japanese manga thing, because it has it's supposed to be like the depression sign, where like a character in a manga would be depressed and has the little light shining over their head. Somehow that relates to thunder. That's what I believe I read, was that it has something to do with manga and that light being over a manga character's head when they're depressed.
Interesting. And somehow thunder cures that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh well, ours is not the reason why.
It is not.
Come on.
I mean, I don't read Moonspeak anyway, so I'm not gonna be able to tell you why.
Yep.
Come on.
One more wave. Well, actually, two more. Because this is the first wave about the second half of this room.
Right.
God, I love Ripple Drive. Not only does it do a significant amount of damage, it has some pretty darn good knockback, too.
Definitely.
So it gives you free of some enemies. You can see it's the other benefit that I don't think I mentioned yet is that it also goes in a 360-degree area all around Sora. So you're pretty much protected when that fires. If anyone tries to hit you right when that fires off, you're getting knocked back instead of hitting you.
Yeah. The only other one that, you know, gives you a comparable effect is like stun impact.
Yeah, and that's actually another good one, but I still think Ripple Drive is better because the damage actually increases with the more MP you get.
Yeah, for you in this run with the rod heavy run, you definitely are probably better off with the Ripple Drive.
No!
Kerchak is mad.
Okay, this right here, where Sora yells no, Clayton stops, just stares, and the gorillas just sort of
Not Clayton.
lumber away slowly.
Not Clayton.
Well, he's heartless, so...
This is one of the weird kind of not totally explained things about Clayton in this one, and then I would say Scar in Kingdom Hearts 2, where they're not really heartless, but they start doing things that are not normal. So it's like they're turning into heartless.
And then there's Tarzan just beating the ever-loving crap out of him with a pointy stick.
Okay, right here, does Clayton know what's about to happen?
I don't think so?
He's just like incredibly badass, just standing there while the wall behind him explodes.
And then he shoots Tarzan. Okay, here's what doesn't make sense. Clayton's using a hunting rifle, and yet we have to censor our sniper rifle for Zigbar in Kingdom Hearts 2.
That's true. And the undead pirates pistols.
Exactly. Which, if I'm not mistaken, still have the gun sound effect while they're using crossbows.
Yeah. It totally makes sense.
Yeah, because crossbows fire with gunpowder.
Yeah, look it up in your history books. This is totally how they fought back then.
Crossbows that fire with gunpowder and so on. If you didn't notice, already, the edit point has gone by.
I think think I must have missed it.
That's a good thing. That means it's not that noticeable.
Good. Good deal.
Because it was basically I died like shortly into this half of the battle.
It's laser eye lizard.
Yeah, I think the stealth sneak just overwhelmed me. He overwhelmed me at one point, and which gave Clayton a chance to shoot me a bunch.
The stealth sneak's design, or the color scheme, the palette swap is pretty cool here. Okay, look at Clayton just hopping around like nobody's business. It's like Tarzan can't jump that high.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual.
I think the stealth sneak is shorting out.
And somehow that kills him. Somehow that kills Clayton. I'm not sure how that works. I mean, I guess maybe it crushed him because it's heavy?
Yeah, if you had like a giant lizard fall on you.
Well, it doesn't seem like it would be that heavy, is what I guess, but that's just...
Well, he is kind. Yeah, he does look kind of skinny. But, you know, he might be kind of top heavy.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, now Kerchak trusts us, now that we've killed another human.
But he doesn't quite like us, which is why he's going to do this.
Now, there's a difference between trusting and liking someone, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is why he just chucks us over the hill.
And they were never seen again.
Actually, they weren't. Especially since Deep Jungle will never be in another Kingdom Hearts game.
Yep. Oh well, at least they got the main story out of the way.
Tarzan home.
In such a way as they did.
Yes.
Yep, skipping all those chests.
All the chests. You didn't want to grab onto the wall?
Nope. Faster to jump.
Yeah.
Gotta save all them precious seconds.
This is pretty annoying platforming part.
I would say the one in the Hippo Lagoon is a little more annoying, trying to get to all the treasure chests there.
Well, there's really only one main jump that's terrible.
Oh yeah, that's the one I'm talking about,
This
though.
is your home?
Yeah.
But that means... Huh?
And it's basically fixed once you get high jump
Well, or glide,
Waterfalls.
or glide.
They're echoing all the way here.
if you decide to skip Monstro.
Friends there. See friends.
Oh, now I've got it. Means heart. Friends.
How
in
did she
our
figure
hearts.
that out?
Yeah,
From
that's
that
good. That's a good question. There's no real indication that
that's
would
what
be what he's trying to say.
Yeah, from that
Friends.
sentence, it
Same
doesn't
heart.
quite follow.
Clayton. Lose heart.
It's like she just puts that word
No
into his
heart.
mouth and he's like, oh,
No
okay,
see
that
friends.
mean heart.
No heart.
Mm-hmm.
No friends.
I mean,
Sorry
yes,
about
that's
what
kind
I
of
said.
the thing that's going on in this game with the hearts and stuff. But, you know,
But still, it's not all that logical.
Right.
But then again, Kingdom Hearts does not logic.
nope. That has always been true.
Time to seal another keyhole.
Number 2.
of, I think, 8 or more. Maybe
Probably
actually,
more than...
11 or 12, probably, actually.
Yeah.
So we're about a sixth of the way through with this game.
Yay!
I think someone has a new admirer.
I like how that's the concern and not the fact that Turk is a gorilla.
Yeah, and he's a duck. That does seems like you'd have a lot more issues than just your girlfriend being upset.
Yeah. Just a bit. Alright.
And of course,
so
we have an epilogue with the evil Council of Doom.
Meanwhile, at the Council of Doom.
Drew the Heartless to that world?
The hunter lured them there. It was his lust for power that was the bait. But it seems the bait was too tasty for his own good.
Yeah, he got chopped instead.
That was very clever.
A weak-hearted fool like him stood no chance against the Heartless.
Be careful what you
But
say,
the
Jafar.
boys
Your
are
words might come to bite you.
He found one of the keyholes.
Yeah, that's something that comes
Fear
up a
not.
lot. They
It
keep
will
saying
take
that,
him
but then
ages to find the way.
they completely fail at it.
Besides, he remains blissfully unaware of our other plan.
None of them really do are any
Yes,
more
the
successful than Clayton.
They are falling into our hands one by one. Speaking
Well,
of
Maleficent is actually the most successful out of the entire group, but that's just because she's using the entire group to further her own ends.
She knows what she's doing. Mostly.
She's incredibly intelligent that way. Didn't hurt that the only thing that takes for her to resurrect is for you to remember her name. So she's essentially immortal as long as she keeps people from remembering her name.
Well, it might be specifically those 3 fairies, which, now that I think about it, is a little weird.
Well, that's why I think it's anybody that remembers her name resurrects her, because that would be weird.
Maybe, but we know that, it's not like Pete and Sora forgot her name.
Well, they just didn't think about her.
I guess.
It's more of a fact that you have to be if you actively think about her, if you see her cloak and you're like, oh crap, that's Maleficent, that's like, bam, instant release.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've come to the end of this week's episode, so I want to thank Nezzy for joining me today.
No problem. I am very happy to be here.
And if you want to check out any of my personal LPs, you can check them out over on my personal channel, and I will put the link in the description for that channel. What
are we doing at the end here?
Just going back to the tent to save.
Oh, cool.
And so thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, we will.
See ya!
Bye, all.